So we are live. Woo! It was a long time coming, and just like some of the dates that I hate, we are late. And so it's all good though. Thank you guys for tuning in. I am so grateful to my panel that's here. They're waiting in the virtual backstage room. And there's a couple of people asking me, okay, so Lenisha, what is this whole thing about? So this month, starting December 31st, y'all, I threw on a quick face and I didn't get to like blend it all in, but it's all good. So this month I did no Manuary, and it wasn't about bashing men. It was about me taking a break from all these dates and stuff that I had been on with all these different guys, and just like taking a breather and taking a while to self-reflect and look at me like, okay, there's a lot of dating happening. Nothing's really clicking. I wasn't satisfied. Yeah, what is this over here? I wasn't satisfied with the results that I was getting from dating. And so I just wanted to take a while to self-reflect. And in that time, I kind of reviewed, like slowed down to review without more distractions being welcomed in. And so I just decided to share some posts. If you all followed, I appreciate you. If you need to go back and catch up, I did it like by the week, and you can flip through. I started off with everything can change, because everything definitely can change. And it does. And we've got to roll with the punches. I start off the year with my face swollen to capacity. One of my eyes couldn't open. Y'all, it was crazy. So I definitely had time to reflect on my dating life, how I was approaching it, what was going on with me. There's all these terms on social media that people love to talk about, healing and all of that. But does anybody know how to heal? And for the ones that do, are you helping your friends? And it's just a lot. So anyway, at the end of it, I didn't want to be too serious, wanted to have some lighthearted fun. So I wanted to just like review some of these dating horror stories. And if the stories come from a girl or from a lady, from a woman, from our side, then the guys get to give the commentary first. And if the dating horror story comes from the guys, then us ladies get to give our 2 cents on that dating horror story. It's going to be a good time. So brought in some friends who are currently single meaning not married. I don't know if they're, entertaining some folks or not, because I don't get all up in my friends' business. I let them share as they will. But it's going to be really fun. Je Vaughn, one of the greatest, dopest assets to ever be added to my life, is helping me do this thing. He's producing it. He's going to be giving some commentary. He's co-hosting. He's everything. And so that's happening. Je Vaughn, you coming in? You joining us? Okay. And then I gotta come in.
Wow, I was not trying to do that on purpose, so I apologize.
Knock me out, because I gotta go share it on my page too. So I'm gonna pop out and let you talk to the people really quickly before you bring us all in. Let them know who.
Good.
We discussed a question to start off the show. I would love for you to give the question at the beginning of the show. That'll be great.
Oh, that would remind me to know what the question was. So
the question is, do you want me to remind you?
Yes, right now. Remind me. What was the question?
The question is, and you're going to have to say it again, in our age group, or let's just give from 32 to 45, who has the largest group of broken people, men or women, between the ages of 32 to 45? Or let's take it up 32 to 50. Who has the largest group of broken people? You guys, because we'll get into it. But yeah, keep going, Je Vaughn.
All right, you go ahead and pop out. We'll be back with you in a moment. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of this show, Date Hate. Now, I know that some of you guys are in this stream and that you guys have experienced some dates that you were just like, what is going on? So that's why we've got gathered here today. And you know what? We're amongst friends. No, this is not Clubhouse, but it's the next best thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk. We're going to have a panel on. They're going to talk about some of the stuff they've been going through and what they've experienced. And we need you guys' feedback. We need your comments. Like the same way that Marquise was like, my people. Yes, Marquise is our people. And I am Marquise people. So thank you for joining the show, Marquise. We want you guys to interact like that. Share your thoughts, share your comments, share your stories. Let us know what you've experienced when dating. And, we don't want to just talk about the bad dates. We want to talk about the terrible dates. Those dates that you were just like, how did I even, what was going on in my life that, who does this person think he is? Those type of dates. And if you've experienced it, we want to hear about it. I'm enjoying Marquise. He's interacting with the show today. Gigi Borelli. How you doing, Gigi Borelli? Gigi, have you experienced some dates where you were just like, oh, who, who, the what, the how, the where, the So I'm gonna go ahead and bring my girl back on the show, Miss Lenisha, and we are gonna just talk. We're gonna figure out what it is that we've been doing and how have we been doing it
Yes.
to where we have experienced some of the foolishness.
Mass foolishness, Javon.
Mass foolishness. So I know that Gigi has experienced some terrible dates.
And
I
it's
know
Gigi Burrell. Hey,
Gigi
girl.
Borelli.
She's gorgeous. I got to get my face in here. There we go.
Gigi
And it is
Borelli.
better than Clubhouse.
It is better than Clubhouse. What's up, Jennifer Cousin?
I'm going to pop it back that way.
Nope, I don't like that.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's fine. Going around.
Follow your producer. Now, we've got, what's up, Tracy? It's great to see you as well. So this is what we need. We need this interaction. Did
they start answering the question yet? Who has a group of broken people?
Nope, not yet.
Between the ages of 32 to 50, I expanded it.
I appreciate that. There's some people that have experienced some stuff too.
I dated a couple of guys in their 50s. This year had a 51 and a 52-year-old because I need maturity.
Not this year, last year, because it was no man you weary.
Help me. Well, this is an extension of 2020. So people have been saying. Somebody said their new year is going to start February 1st. So
I got you. Now we've got a great panel that's going to be sharing, and we have a full house today. Yeah. So what I need to do is I need to pop off and switch systems. And while I do that, I need you to introduce. Listen.
Okay.
There's this. No, hold on. Before you go, I need you to take your time with the first one, though. I need you to take your time, and I need you to just let the people know that it's Nairubi. And I need you to I just need you to just give it the introduction that I would give it, and then we'll go on.
Oh goodness. If I give the introduction that he would give, so you are, when I was picking my panelists, I picked people that I know and love. Like, I know these people. These are not random picks. I've had conversations with them, spent time with them, and the rest of it. And this, who he called the first one, y'all, I'm trying to hide things. Who he called the first one is the beautiful and lovely, amazing Nairubi. Is she coming in? This is wonderful. Hey, Nairubi.
Hey.
She's out of Houston, Texas, but originally from New York.
What's up?
Yes. Do you want to tell them something about yourself? Or here we go. How long have you been single?
I've been single for about 2 years now.
Okay.
Purposefully, though.
Purposefully. Okay, 2 years on purpose. Dating in that time, or yes.
Like off and on, every now and then, every few months, I'll like dip my toes into the dating pool and then jump right back out because I've run into some foolishness,
Okay, I cannot wait to start talking about the foolishness. Let's give like my top 3 fave foolish folk that I've run into. The polygamist. Have you ran into the polygamist?
Yes.
The people who want to be poly. Yes.
Yes. You know what? A guy called me. A guy called me rigid once because I wasn't into the whole like throuple thing.
What is that about? Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe I should save my other 2 for when the other folk come in here. But everybody, this is not Ruby.
Yeah.
I don't know if you all can give hands or hearts. This is not Ruby. So we'll talk more in just a second. I have one of the funniest people on the planet. He is an actor. He is a host. He should be an author. You do have a book out, right? If he doesn't, he has one in the works. He is everything, though. Mr. Cory Espie is in the room. Are you bringing him in? Mr.
What's
Cory
up, people?
Espie.
What's going down, man?
What is going down? A lot of women like to play guys like they don't have feelings. How long have you been single, Cory?
Oh, man. This last time, probably like going on, 2 months now?
2 months. Okay, so you're fresh.
Yes,
fresh. I didn't know that.
But here, and I so for people that follow my social media, I just kind of went public about the whole breakup and why it went wrong. And, you know, I accepted the responsibility because of some things that, and it, first of all, I didn't cheat. Okay. So let's get that. I don't know. When I put the post up, some girl went to, oh, it's hard living a double life. I was like, how the hell did you get that out of that? But no.
I will have to speak and say a lot of women feel like if a man's relationship ended, it's because he cheated.
Yeah, and it wasn't that, man. I talked about it from the mental health standpoint and how opening up and communicating with your partner when you're dealing with things. And sometimes when those things happen and you're not honest with yourself enough about what it is you need to do, you find yourself in a position to where they are now getting the draw from what they feel is maybe wrong. And at that point, they can start to try to kind of lose that interest in the situation because you're not you. So you're not giving the full potential of you. So it's not fair to you. It's not fair to them. And so I challenge more people after reading my post to be more conversational about what it is that you deal with from a point. And I suffered in silence. And that's one of the things that I work on from a mental standpoint right now.
Now, pause right there. Suffering in silence. Me and this next guest have talked about it a lot. This is one of the newer people in my tribe, but I'm so glad that I get to call her sister. She is an amazing vocalist, mentor to Jasmine Sullivan for a while. She's been signed to I don't even want to give her whole rundown. I just want to let y'all meet the queen and who she is. My sister Tia Sharee.
Hi everybody.
And oh my goodness, have we had some healing conversations just on our own, being able to relate to somebody who works within the same industry that you do, who has suffered some of the same thing and then also had some of the same successes, and we're both moms, and she's dope. You know what I'm saying? She looks like she could be my little sister, but I just want to say she's
I am 25 till I die.
You see what I'm saying? But tell us a little bit about yourself, and how long have you been single?
You didn't read the chat, did you?
I did not read the chat.
Read the chat, daughter. Let's start over again.
No, okay. You know, at the beginning I said single is not married. What I do know is that my sister is not married.
So yes, I am not married. I have been divorced now for, oh wow, this is 2021, almost 3 years.
Okay.
I am single mom, 4 kids. If I tell you how old they are, then you'll know how old I am. So we're not going to get into that, but they're pretty darn big kids.
We're all parents. Cory's a parent now. Ruby's a parent. Je Vaughn's a parent. I'm a parent.
Really?
So this is good.
I'm raising 2 at home.
Dating with kids, that's something that we could definitely touch on.
Yeah. It is. It's my pleasure to be here. You know, like Lenisha said, we have had some really, really deep and intimate moments just dealing with this space of dating and relationship. And so it's definitely a pleasure to be able to share with other people on this platform. I am single mom. I am...
Well, wait a
minute.
I'm
a lot of things.
I have to interrupt you because I still haven't gotten an answer from anybody. So you guys have to answer first. And he said we had a full house. Is my brother John in here?
John has not made it in yet.
John has not made it in. We're going to excuse him. Michelle, who's in North Carolina, had a house situation, and we all live in houses. And so she had a water main breaker, something like that.
That's tough.
It sounds good.
That is
tough.
I'll be the center of this. I have to cough.
Oh, that's that T'Challa. That's that T'Challa.
Not now. The third one means we need to go get. That was a hachoo.
Get tested tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm allergic to the foolishness. Who has the greatest group of broken people? Ages 32 to 51. I'm gonna drink some water.
Are we answering that now?
Answer that now.
Answer that now.
If we just,
I think the younger generation does.
You think the younger?
No. It's you got to answer between male and female.
Oh, well, it would
ages 32 to 50. Which group of us?
It's gonna be females ages 32 to 50, and I have a very good reason why that is.
Of course.
I was gonna say, but I'm gonna say males. I've had some experiences. I'm sorry.
Well,
Okay, go ahead,
I want to hear about everybody's
I
story.
think everybody's broken. Everybody has
Experienced. So I know that there's a little bit of a delay. I can tell that now. So I'm going to moderate this a little bit. So I'm going to start with Cory, and then I'm going to go to Tia, and then Ruby to answer the question. So, Mr. Cory, what was your answer and why?
All right, so I'll make this real quick.
Seeing this slide.
So if we go back and look back where time essentially changed, and I'm gonna say this because after slavery and things happened, we moved into a point to where women were kind of pushed into the fact of moving from slavery with white owners into being slavery in the house, from being like 12-year-olds raised to be given to a man to do it. So essentially the man mindset was still, black men mindset was still under the control of what they would do. So women never really escaped that. Now you take a period to where the time frame changed, and you can no 12 to 13-year-old girl could be put in a house with a man like that. But mindset of men didn't change. So you got to think those women were still subjected to those men of the mindset who didn't have a problem. That's why you see so many women 32 to 50 years old struggling mentally and emotionally, because they were broken into it. And we went to a part to where it wasn't talked about. Everything that happened into a house, it wasn't talked about. The only reason I don't look at so many men like that is because a lot of that stuff was internalized on men because they were the predators in situations. And as of lately, it's become, since mental issues have become, very open, now you start to see more men being exposed to different parts of life. But I say women have suffered the most of that part, and I would say 32 to 50 because of those mindsets.
I hear you. Where did Je Vaughn go? Okay, now Ruby was saying something. He said it's a delay. So now Ruby, give us your answer and your why.
First of all, can you repeat the question? So I want to make sure that I'm answering correctly.
Between the ages of 32 and 50, who has the larger group of broken people, right? Women or men? So are men between the ages of 32 to 50 more broken than women between the ages of 32 to 50?
I personally feel like, both. I feel like men are going to say that women are more broken because that's who they interact with. Like, that's who they, start relationships with, and vice versa. Women are going to say that men are more broken because that's who we interact with. But coming from someone who has, been in relationships with both sexes, I feel like we're all broken at some point. You know what I mean? And our experiences have affected and sort of shaped and molded the way that we think and behave and interact with others. And sometimes it can be like in a negative way. So that's my answer.
Tia, you were going to say something too. What was your answer? So between men and women, age 32 to 51, who's more broken?
I'm gonna say, not for the same reason as Ruby, but I'm gonna say everybody's broken. We've all experienced some turmoil, some grief, some strife that has spilled over into relationship. Obviously, like she said, as a woman who dates men, I see that. I see their brokenness, and I see why. You know what I mean? For me, I see my own brokenness too. So I think it's a 50-50 kind of thing. I think that it's just beneficial when you acknowledge that you are broken and you address those issues. I think that that's what makes the difference in how it kind of shows up in your relationship.
Well, switching, it got really serious. Y'all feel that serious energy?
Yeah.
It got really serious. So switching, but like really, the brokenness, Cory touched on the mental health and things like that. That attributes to our dating life. Do you know what I'm saying? But just, to switch to something a little funny. So we have a person missing, but by way of a few of my stories that I gathered of people who had some dating horror stories. Let's start with one. Now there was a young man, and this is all, it's all going to correlate with what we were just talking about. There was a young man, football star, college football star, on campus. He started dating a graduate student, a woman. He said she had long blonde hair or whatever, nice body, stacked up nice. She was a sister, however, but she was significantly older than him, more than 3 years older than him, you know, by his story. And so they started dating, and he said what he didn't know as a young guy was that older women come with more baggage than the younger girls that he had dated. So this is his story. And he said that he would say things to him that felt normal, and they were triggers for her. And she would be in the kitchen cooking for him and have on, you know, little situations to entice him while she was cooking, and everything would be going well. He would say something to trigger her, and she tried to stab him. She threw some hot food on him. They were in the middle of intercourse one time, and she bit him in his shoulder, like aggressively, not for fun. Just everything that struck her heart, she would react violently. And his boys were like, you need to leave her alone. He was like, but I love her. And anyway, this was his dating horror story. He eventually left her alone, but he said, you know, he just felt like from then on, that older women came with a certain amount of baggage. She tried to hit him with a hammer.
Wait. I'm sorry. You said the word eventually. You said eventually?
Yeah, he didn't. She tried to hit him with a hammer. He didn't leave her after that. He said she was fine. You know what I'm saying? And that matters.
Being fine don't matter if you ain't fine.
So he said, let me tell you how he described it too. He said once he did leave her alone, it was because he felt like, do y'all remember that scene from Friday when he was with the pigeons inside the coop, and he was like geeking and tweaking? Yes, Cory. He said he felt like that, like he felt like he had been driven to a crazy place where there was no point of return, and that's when he decided to leave her alone. I wish that he was on here so he can give us some more details as to like what drove him to that place, because I don't feel like I've ever been driven.
He was hella lonely.
No, I think she was hella fine. I think that there's a level of fondness that will get you the ability to hit me with a hammer.
Oh,
to hit you with a hammer? That's hilarious.
Listen, I hit my baby daddy with a hammer.
See?
Did you?
And he stayed with you, didn't he?
No, I left him.
Did he? But did he try to
he
circle back? You know, everybody tries to circle back.
Oh yeah, that same night he came back to the door like,
see, Cory,
I move all my stuff back in.
Yeah.
If
yo,
listen, open the door, and I was like, hell no, I can't do this no more.
I got stabbed by a woman that didn't leave.
But that's because he was beating me. He was beating me like a nigga on the street.
Yeah, well,
that's the other one. So I ain't had a choice.
No. Listen. Wait a minute. That goes to another question then. So if he can get hit by a hammer and stay, you know, there's some mental things that happen. I think that the one that he was dealing with, was he fine to you?
Was he what?
Was he fine?
He was all right. He's my kid. He was my son's father.
So that okay. So I think
does that give significance in relationships if it's if you have a child with a person?
You try to. I wouldn't say significant, but there is a certain level of try when you have that sort of attachment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Desire to want to build a family. You know what I mean? You have a dream of building a family, having this family unit, and so you try to do what you can do to keep it together, and to try to make it work. And I think for me, you know, one of the things that contributed to my stay was, you know, coming out of a broken home, you know, having an accident every now and again, dad. You know what I'm saying? And so those things do attribute to your mindset and your perception of what's necessary. You know, like I looked at my grandmother's marriage, and, you know, her marriage, it was like, you know, I look at my grandfather was an alcoholic, and he had its moments where he would attempt to be abusive, but my grandma had a 1-2 though. Whoo, you know, he had his moments. And so you see stuff like that, you're like, okay, so that's kind of what you probably would have to go through in order to make your marriage work. So you can be the one to say, I've been married for 57 years.
Yeah.
You know,
We just had a comment, Tia. I got to cut you off. We had a comment, and Lady Erica said, no significance. And I'm sorry, I'm with Erica. So
Yeah, I
I'm
don't think
my
it's
own business out there. I've been married twice. I have 3 children, and neither one of my children are by either of my husbands. And that doesn't make me a hoe. What it does.
That makes you one of them fine girls
But
get away with
either
anything.
way, even if I would have had children with either of my spouses, it wouldn't have made me stay. And I didn't leave for cheating reasons, because I feel like if you're going to be a good parent, you want to be a good parent inside the relationship or outside the relationship.
No,
And
it's not about being a good parent. It's just the dream of growing up, especially when you come from a broken home, growing up in that 2-parent home, having that balance. Like, I know what it was. I know the things, the pressures that, we put on my mother, because she was a single parent. You know what I'm saying? Expecting her to make up for the deficit of dad being absent. You know what I'm saying?
So that's what I was saying to you. I feel like just because dad is outside the home does not. If you are a woman who creates an environment for a father to have freedom to deal with his children, you know what I'm saying? And that's the kind of woman that I am. Please come get them. Please,
it's not
all
the
time.
freedom.
Yeah, no, I know that it's differences. I'm just saying. So for me, there was no significance, because I feel like a child can have a holistic parenting experience without both parents being in the home.
I think it's possible too.
Yeah.
Except more.
And I'm sorry. Then let's make sure. I feel you. I got your point. Now Ruby's gonna speak after you.
Go ahead.
Just real quick, Cory, you can't hear us? Cory can't hear us. All right, so Lenisha, I need you to text Cory. Just let him know to log out and then log back in, and he can be able to come back in. I'm sorry to interrupt. Now Ruby, you were going to tell us about the time you hit a man with a hammer. You can go for it.
I never did that. But I kind of agree with Tia. I mean, sometimes, especially when you're a new parent, like, it's all new, and you like the idea of having your family. So you probably will tolerate some things that, aren't okay. I mean, I've never been in that type of situation where things got physical, but definitely, things that there was a little more leeway. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you have a child with a person, it's you want your family, you want your child to grow up in a 2-parent household. You know what I'm saying? I remember a friend of mine, her husband had made a statement, and he and I'll never forget this, is that he said that he would never date a woman who didn't grow up in a 2-parent household, because they're different. Yes. So and I believe that, because in the past 2 years, unpacking my my life and my traumas and things like that, I feel like there would have been a difference, you know what I'm saying, if both my parents had been in the household while I was growing up. So
I definitely feel like it would have been a difference, but I won't force it. But let's go to the next dating horror story. So I gave it, and I'm a lady, but it came from a guy. So we're going to let one of the ladies give a dating horror story, and then the guys will give the first initial commentary coming off of the dating horror story. So who's up? Tia or Ruby? Do you want to share a dating horror story of yours or someone else's?
I was trying to rack my brain all day about dating horror stories that I have. I don't have many,
Okay, well, let me jump in then. So here we go, and it's a short one. This is coming from a female, okay? So there was a guy who had been talking to a girl for a little over a year, and the guy says to the girl, I really want to be with you. I really think about being with you, but there's too many people who live in your house, okay? The girl felt like anybody dating her should have been thinking about where he was going to take her, and taking her out of where she lives and creating a space for them to grow together and to develop, not him thinking about coming to live with her and having issues with all the people that live with her. So a lot of women experience men wanting to come and be supported by them versus wanting to support the woman. Men speak on that.
So I'm just slightly confused. So I just want to make sure. See, Cory couldn't even understand the question, so he got up and left.
Not
So are you saying?
story.
Okay, that's the story. So are you saying that so the woman had so many people in her spot that the dude was like, see, we could go, but you got all these people up in this house. I don't know,
said,
man.
I think about being with you, but you live with too many people.
How many people was too many?
I don't know.
See, I think that if she lived with 15 other people in a 2-bedroom house, we've got to admit that's probably a little bit of problem. Just a little bit of problem. A little bit of problem.
Okay.
Hey, Cory.
Welcome back, Cory.
Hey.
Oh, what do you think, Cory?
I agree with you, brother. You can I say this right here?
Of course you can.
I just think, and I'm gonna just speak to blacks just for a minute. I think the sooner that we can understand this, that early childhood experiences shape a lot of future decisions on what we allow, think, and compromise with. And I think to each is its own in certain situations that we understand why we deal with it. Because so many times when stories like these come out and some of these interesting stories y'all talk about, everybody go, well, that couldn't be me, or no, that shouldn't happen like that. But until people really accept the fact, until you in something and dealing with that personally, you really don't know how you act. Because I remember just seeing like Keisha from my neighborhood, who I seen beat up girls and jumping dudes all day. And I saw Keisha get into a relationship and a man beat the hell out of her. And forever I was thinking like, yo, I didn't think that stuff would happen there. But I think we can't truly assess something until we actually been there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I think money makes you tolerate things. When you change a person's culture, you put up with a lot more bullshit. I think that's true. The fact that we don't really like change sometimes make you put up with people bullshit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If we've come accustomed to certain things, we've been together for 15 years. That's hard to want to change that because you're used to all that. And I think these things play a significant role in shaping how we make decisions on what we tolerate. And when people listen in, a lot of times, first thing we want to say is, oh, that couldn't be me. Yeah, it might be, it might not. But until you in it, you'll never know. Because some of the people dealing with some stuff that we see dealing with personally that we know, were people we thought would never ever deal with that. Go ahead.
That's a good point.
That's a good point.
But again, though, I think that there's a level of the toleration, though. So I think that you're right. Money has a significant consideration when it comes to how much you'll deal with. I think that the longevity of the relationship, the things that happened in the past, those good moments will help determine. We already mentioned money, but I think we should always make sure that that's mentioned at least 4 times. That money plays a big role. And then I think also
when you look at real quick, when you look at Juanita Jordan, she wanted to leave Mike for the longest. Okay. Juanita made sure she was substantially in position to walk away. Because remind you, Jordan was $100 million man at the time before he became a billionaire. And you're talking about, I know he's gambling, I know he's cheating, and I'm gonna just walk off when I ain't worried about nothing in my life. People can say all day, oh, I ain't gonna take that. You don't know it. Because when you go from trying to worry about what bills gonna be paid like to now you can buy an island somewhere, that's a whole different mindset. Most people can't comprehend that type of money.
Until you're in it. Until you're in it, you can't fathom it.
Yeah. And wait till I get that type of money, man. I'm gonna be comprehending a whole lot of stuff.
I would have to, you know what, Cory, I would have to agree with you. I was very close with someone who definitely had more money than me, but we were close, and she wanted to leave her significant other, and I was like, leave. Do you know what I'm saying? They both had a lot of businesses together. They had a lot of shared assets, and I could only come from my space. Do you know what I'm saying? Right. My second husband, drained my bank account and bleached all of my clothes. And
Jesus.
and I had to, like, all of my clothes, and I had to start over with 3 children. Do you know what I'm saying? Everything that I had was gone, and that was only 3 years ago. And the hustle in me, it went up substantially. And so I feel like if I had nothing, you know what I'm saying, and I could start over, then I can't speak to her experience directly, because she's like, well, I've spent so many, and she was older than me too. I've spent so many years building this. I can't imagine, just because I'm miserable in this relationship, I can't imagine leaving. Do you know what I'm saying? Because of this. But I mean, she had a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't. They weren't intimate anymore. They, you know what I'm saying? He had other women by the boatloads and everything, and she was still giving. So she still had something to fall back on. So I'm thinking to myself, if you built these businesses on your own, do you know what I'm saying? Some of those businesses, then you can do it. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like anybody can do anything.
Once a man bleaches all of your clothes, don't you start no manuary there? Or no man member, or
I
something.
felt like I didn't have to suffer because he was, you know what I'm saying?
He bleached all your clothes, though.
Bleached all my clothes, brother. Bleached all of my clothes.
You know what? And I think we talk about toleration, and I'm gonna real quick, and I'm gonna bring in Naruto because she hasn't talked a while, and then bring back in Tia. But just as quick, I think back to watching TLC movie, and when Left Eye burnt up that entire man's house down to the ground.
Well, here it is.
No woman member starts that day.
Money to rebuild.
No woman member starts that day.
No woman
once a woman burns down my house,
yeah.
Or maybe no cheatuary. No
cheatuary. No cheatuary should have started.
But it don't matter. See, here's the problem that we come up with. We say, oh, well, the man deserved it because he cheated. Oh, the man deserved it because he drained her bank account. Oh, the man deserved it because he bleached all our clothes. I don't have a comeback for that.
Let me ask you this.
Say it again, Cory.
What if she burned down the house she bought? Are you
then I better go to the Holiday Inn and give me a room.
And then she puts you in another house. You moving in?
Oh, absolutely. Because that was her house. She burned down her stuff. She didn't burn down my stuff. She burned down her stuff.
Right. But Lenisha, you see how.
But she burned it down. That was the response. Whether it was hers or yours, her intention was to burn it down with you inside. Why would you move into the new house?
If Lenisha bleaches all of her clothes, that has nothing to do with me. She bleached her clothes. If you burn down your house, you burn down your house.
For me, when people try to circle back around, he tried to come back a few times, and I told him that I hope he wins the lottery and finds 30 women. I don't want you even thinking about me. Because we're done. I'm never getting back with anybody after they do something so massive like that. I can't.
It's just clothes. You can go to Macy's to get those.
It's the mindset.
Not Ruby.
It's your mindset.
Yeah, it's like.
Don't tell you.
That's what.
Right. But I'm more apt to deal with the fact that you got rid of something that you produced versus what I do, because I'm more hurt behind what I worked for.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that house is insured. I got insurance. So if I burn it down, it's all right.
That's probably why they got back together, because they had insurance.
I was coming after you when I did it. So you should be concerned about my emotions and my stability mentally. So maybe you need to make some decisions.
But maybe you got a cleansing after you burned down that house. Now you were like, you know what? I feel better now.
Burned with the house.
Yes. Real quick though. Now Ruby wanted to get in a point. Real quick. What was your point? What were you gonna say now, Ruby?
I never understood when people did that
break their
own, destroying other people's property. First of all, it's crazy to destroy your own property. That's just another level of crazy. But when you are with someone and they cheat on you, or they, do you wrong or cross you or whatever, to destroy their property, I feel like it's extreme. That's I never understood why people did that, because you're angry now. Did you guys see that video of that chick who set that Jeep on fire? And
the car?
It backfired. Yes, it backfired.
And blew her tail.
Yeah, so I feel like in a lot of times
She didn't
I
think
feel
that
like
through.
a lot of times when
He
you
did.
do stuff like that, when you take, revenge into your own hands, it backfires. So,
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
that's my.
And plus, I
You
can't be
know-
with a woman that can't properly burn down my stuff. If you trying to burn down my stuff and you light
Properly.
yourself on fire, we can't be together because you
Come on.
have poor planning in your life.
Javon,
That's a good point.
Javon, no,
Poor
Javon,
planner.
no,
You are a poor
no,
planner. You need to do better.
no. You are a poor planner, and you should do
If you
better.
gonna do it right.
Absolutely not. So wait. So what I'm thinking is though, because I bleached some clothes, and I bleached some clothes
Lord.
because I have because zoot suits were out, and so you needed new clothes anyway,
Not
and you
Zoot
wasn't gonna
suits.
stop.
Who were
You weren't gonna
dating that
stop.
was wearing Zoot suits?
Here's my baby dad, and he was skinny, he's skinny, wearing muscle shirts and zoot suits. I was like, we getting rid of these Cab Calloway shoes, these patent leather Cab Calloway shoes. We getting rid of these zoot suits. We getting rid of these muscle shirts, and you ain't got no muscles.
He was
All of
wearing
this
that
is-
zoot suit with that t-shirt, tight shirt underneath
Yo.
that zoot suit when you met
Yes,
him.
but the
I
shirt
do
wasn't
block
tight, and
I
that's
do
what I'm
block
saying. That's what I'm
Women
saying.
always
Like,
trying to change
that's,
men.
you know what?
That's the
No,
problem now.
it wasn't because I was trying to change him.
Men?
He
You
was
should have
in
bought him a new
violation.
suit.
I did. After I
Oh.
bleached and burnt them. I didn't burn them. After I bleached and I cut up the shoes, but I bleached the clothes.
Wow.
But after I did buy new stuff. And I was just like, you know what? Here you go. I know I messed your stuff up. Here you go. And it was like, yeah, because I ain't like it anyway. So it didn't matter.
I got some stuff I need you to burn down to you so you can replace it. I like the fact
I got
that you
you.
at least
I got
that you
you.
at least replace the stuff.
A burn
I
and
sure
replace
did.
policy.
Mhm.
Would y'all date?
That's only if we stay together, though. Javon,
you really date
only if we get back
people?
together.
Would
See,
you really
that's
date somebody if they told you about all their crazy up front?
Yep.
good
Yes.
question.
Yeah.
Good question, Cory.
Yes.
You start us off with
What
your
was the
answer. Why
question?
though?
Would you really date someone if they told you about all their crazy up front?
I gotta hear. Wait, let me hear Cory first, and then we'll come
alright,
down to you,
go
my
ahead.
Ruby, because I know Tia
Go
got
ahead.
an answer. But Cory first, what you got, man?
Yeah.
Some in eight things, some in eight reasons we always feel like we can change a person. A lot of times when we get with people, expectations are built to a certain way, but potentially we always feel like the great person that we are would change the outcome of a person's reaction to things. And that's sometimes where we go wrong, 50-50 ball.
Now, Ruby.
Preach, Cory.
I think that there are always red flags. There are always going to be red flags. If there are red flags, they're there. We just get caught up in the, in the romance and all of that, the beginning stages of things. But there are always red flags. And so my younger self, have been presented with those red flags or, like basically showing me all of your terrible qualities up front or whatever. And I was still like, oh no, it's cool. It's all right. We can make this work or whatever. We're just different. Now I'm more mature. And I've understand and recognize when there is a red flag. And when I say red flag, I mean things that are like a deal breaker for me. And it's different for everybody. But yeah, no, I'm not even gonna. Why would I even torture myself like that? You know better, so you do better.
Before we go to Tia though, who is like killing us with the selfies tonight, real quick, Nairobi, as someone who has dated both men and women, do you give, like, if a woman tells you all her crazies at the beginning versus a man telling you all of his crazies at the beginning, is there a difference as far as how your level of tolerance for that person?
That's a good question.
Nope. There is no difference. Like the relationships, like the relationship is.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, her volume did go out. Okay,
Yeah.
She's gonna come back. I want the answer to that.
There was a comment. There we go. Okay, there was a comment. Andre said it. What Maya Angelou said. Unfortunately, I used to not believe them. I gotta agree with Cory. However, I'm too old, and Maya Angelou was right. Maya Angelou said, "You gotta believe people when they show you who they are."
Exactly. You're just torturing yourself by trying to think that it could change or you guys could work. Like, no, you already know. And you know what? I feel like first a person, man or woman, they have to know who they are and what they want in order to, be able to point out those things, because you don't know if this is something that you can, like, if this is a deal breaker for you until you try it. you know, and you're like, okay, this is not cool. Aside from cheating, like I feel like that's, you don't need to experience that to know that's a deal breaker. But yeah.
So are you saying, Ruby, that if the person says like, listen, Ruby, I know this is our third date and all, just so you know, I cheated on like every other person that I've gone out with, but you're in line to not be cheated on, so we good. Is that all right?
You're in line to not be cheated on?
I feel like this is just me personally. When people cheat, you know, and they're okay with cheating, there's like something fundamentally different with those people. And so I don't ever feel like, I read this book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And, you know, the premise of the book is like, you know that you're not special, like that someone's not going to treat you differently because you are who you are. You know what I mean? So, no. I'm good on that, you know.
Run. Somebody said run in the comments.
I know Tia has something to share, so I'm going to put my seatbelt on real quick since she's putting down the selfie camera and selfie stick is what I meant to say, but the joke already got ruined. Tia, your thoughts?
So, which one do you want me to comment on?
Oh, give me all of them now.
Because you
the one about if we on our date, Tia. So finally, Tia, you and I have gone out. And I sit down and be like, listen, this is everything that I have done. Number one, it's a problem because I'm doing it on the first date, but let's just skip past all that. If I tell you all of my crazies, what's your reaction?
One of the things, so being in the field of behavioral health, I would greatly appreciate you being upfront and honest. I am a person who would rather deal with the abrasive truth than the sugar-coated lie.
Yeah.
And so with you being upfront and honest about your crazy, I would greatly appreciate that. We would definitely have a conversation about where you are now, because just because that's the crazy you've done doesn't mean that that is right now the crazy you are. Again, there are things that have attributed to your behaviors that we definitely must consider. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, you know, when I say something like, oh no, I beat this nigga with a hammer and broke his and shattered his arm, you're looking like, oh, you what?
Yeah.
But what you don't know is that I was in an abusive relationship. And at the time that I grabbed the hammer, get back here, Je Vaughn. At the time that I grabbed the hammer, he was beating me. I mean, beating me like a nigga on the street, punching me in my head, punching me in my face, like I was, like he was preparing for his next match or something. You know what I'm saying? So it's like what transpired is having those conversations about the things that are a part of what attributed to those behaviors. And if they just came out of nowhere, then the question is, are you on meds? Do you take them regularly? And then the question for me is, can I deal with a person who's on meds? And it has to take them regularly. Am I prepared for the moment he misses his meds?
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying? So it's right. So it's like, there are things, it's all about communication and the things that are communicated. But I would definitely like, at the end of the day though, again, I am grateful for the conversation of, hey, listen, I've done this, that, and it's like, okay, thank you. Because then I can make an honest assessment and decision about whether I can handle what it is you are communicating to me.
Yeah, I have something to say to that. So I was at this event called Dish to Dish, a bunch of grown folks. We brought a bunch of food. This was before Corona. And we brought some subject matters, put them in a dish, pulled it out, you know what I'm saying, and gave our comments on it. So one thing that came from that conversation, it also kind of speaks to some things that you just touched on, Tia. But like Cory said, I'm speaking to the Blacks. I brought out that I never really hear, being around other cultures, I never really hear anybody from other cultures saying, the women saying, I can't be with him until he gets his together, or You know what I'm saying? He's tripping. He's on pills. I can't get with him. You know what I'm saying? He has X amount of dollars. I can't be with him. I kind of see women from other cultures covering their men more than we do within our culture. Covering men that they are actively dating or covering the men within their demographic or their group, period. I've never heard of Asian, Turkish, Ethiopian, Filipino. I've never heard any other group of women speak ill of their men or talk about why they can't be partnered with them because of what they lack more than us. But I also never hear them talking about knowing good and well that they suffer abuse and things like that just as often as we do. But I never hear them talking about it. Do you know what I'm saying? And so I want you all to speak on that. And then also, when I was married and during this time of self-reflection, I also wanted to know, like, what bad am I willing to put up with, and what do people mean when they say that they're willing to stay through the good and the bad? Or whenever you all get married, for those of you who are single, what do you mean when you take that vow to be there for better or for worse? What worse are you willing to suffer? What falls underneath that category for you? And
sorry, me and Tia are taking pictures. I'm sorry. Give us a moment.
Wow.
I'm actually not. I'm not taking pictures. I'm trying to make sure that
I keep trying not to adjust.
I have the
Cory,
Facebook Live
talk
on.
to me about that, Cory. You talk to me about it. Once you get ready to take those vows, what good and bad are you willing to suffer?
I'm willing to, at this point in stage in my life, to work through anything that, one, doesn't put my life in jeopardy. Secondly, that we can converse and work through properly to get into a better position, you know, because it's almost like a business. I think about my next relationship being a partnership, meaning that when things happen in a business, you sit down at the table, you put all the analytics together, and you figure out how to make business better, right? Whether we have to have more dialogue, whether we have to do more of this financially, whether we have to exercise this, everything. So if it's in and I'm talking because at this point of life, I've been through like 7 years of therapy to deal with a lot of stuff I've been through, from my depression, things with my son trying to commit suicide and different things like that. So it has brought about a different outlook for how I run a working relationship. I'm now the man that converses more, like, hey, Teal, what's wrong? Let's talk about it. Hey, now Ruby, what's wrong? Let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm that guy now. So as long
you
as
want to say my name, I feel left out. Say me.
Say my name. Say my name.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So as long as it doesn't necessarily put my life in jeopardy, I think I want to do it. And here's the thing: I say that, but I stay with a woman that stabbed me. You know what I'm saying?
Is that what I'm doing wrong? Do I need to stab somebody so they'll stay?
No.
You know what?
Don't do it, sis. Don't do it, sis. Don't do it.
They're telling you not to do it, sis. I say, Lenisha, you got to try it at least once.
YOLO.
And listen,
You got to try everything at least once.
Who said YOLO? Was that you, Tia?
YOLO.
The fact is, I enjoyed our sex life, and I didn't want nobody else to have sex with her. So at that point, I still wasn't ready to let go.
You was whipped.
Yeah. But I really care about it.
There's something magic about magical vagina.
Y'all look out for the t-shirt. Stab him, he will stay. Okay?
Stab
him, he'll stay.
Look, I start grabbing my wound.
You start doing what?
I start rubbing my wound.
Cory said when he rubs his wound, he remembers her wound. What were you about to say, Lenisha?
I'm done. I'm out there. Y'all, when we 54 minutes in, did we hear any dating horror stories that wanted to be told, or
Can I say this, and I have to roll out, guys? I have to get back into the cast here. First of all, I think this is a great panel. I think some great stories. I think it's a great thing. Thank you, Lenisha, for having me here.
Thank you for being here.
And bless this. It's a group of beautiful women and beautiful men on here. Because we are, as men, we're beautiful too. So
yes,
yes, men are beautiful.
And Lenisha, if you do this again, definitely add me. because I definitely love to have these conversations. And hear other
Definitely
people's
will be back. Can you please plug Love and Drugs? Can you do that, please?
Listen, y'all, right now, the #1 streaming movie on Tubi and Amazon right now, Love and Drugs, my latest movie. Go check that thing out, man.
Woo!
You know what I'm saying?
Shoot,
Your
where's
boy
my
doing his
remote?
thing.
Yeah.
Where's my
I
remote?
love
You
y'all.
are not getting out of here without plugging Love and Drugs.
And wait a minute, the podcast. Tell us about the podcast that you're about to do as well.
Oh, my show Father's Father started back airing in February. Also, I actually got a new TV series that's coming out called The Casting. I produced this show myself, incredible writer Danielle that I found in the Dallas area, really doing some big things, and that's what I'm working on now. So I will launch this new show out in May. It'll come out in the fall. So I'm really excited about that thing, guys.
And I want you to promote that because y'all don't know this, but I'm going to actually be on that show. So I need all of y'all to just make sure y'all watch it. And even though he hasn't officially put me in the show yet, I'm naming and claiming.
I was going to put myself in there too. I was going to say,
No, listen,
I'll be praise dancing on the show and playing my triangle. So, how you doing?
What were you about to say, Cory, about our roles?
Yes, listen, definitely. Holla, man, because I'm looking for new faces to put on and everything like that. Man. So holla at me for real, man. I'm be doing that this year. I love my people and I want to see my people shine. So I'm in position to do it now, doing it.
Me and Tia on that.
Cory
We in
is
there.
true. He has put me in some rooms with some amazing people. Darren Henson. Who was everybody that was part of that Silly Women? And
oh yeah, it was me, Tony Grant, Darren Henson. Man, it was a heck of a cast there, man.
Yeah, it was dope. It was dope. So thank
Dre,
you.
don't pay me no mind.
It's funny though, real quick before you go, it's funny how Lenisha trying to put me on Married at First Sight, and you at least gonna give me a real show that I can get on.
Married
Because
at First Sight is a real show.
It is a real show.
I watched it. I'm a fan of that show.
I actually consider doing that show. They're doing casting in Dallas. The one where you date in the pods. Love is Blind.
Oh, Love is Blind. Yes,
that's the one. My bad.
I would want to do something crazy like that.
What are you saying now, Ruby? Did you say you wanted to go on Love is Blind?
No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
No, why not, Ruby? Do it.
Thank you, Cory.
I feel like it's a little strange, you know. So I mean,
I feel like
I just don't feel like I can participate in it, you know.
Why
There's
not?
some people in these comment sections. Carletta Givens is one of them. She's also single. I wanted her to go. I wanted them to go on these dating shows, you guys. And so my single friends, we need to do a mixer or something.
We need to do our own single show.
We need to do our own single show. Can we get a big girl edition to one of these shows?
And see, that's the other thing. No, it don't need to be a big girl edition. It just needs, listen, big, small,
a beautiful
short,
girl
whatever,
edition.
beautiful. So just a beautiful girl edition. No, the weight don't matter.
I'm big and short.
No, I want a big
A
girl
both.
edition.
Big and short.
You can have.
You know that's the thing
weight
though. There are people that are like, because I'm like that with men.
Like what?
I need meat on the bones.
You need meat on the bones. Me too.
Yeah. A little
Well,
meat on
when you find a man, let me know. I can give him as much of this weight as he wants. I'm trying to get as slim and cut as I can get. I'm shedding all of this off.
No.
Because I want to be able to walk and not breathe heavy.
Y'all, we got
nobody.
We got 2 minutes to close.
Why?
Anybody?
Who made up this rule?
Lenisha did. It's her show. She made up the rules.
Look, Dre. Get her, Dre. Get her, Dre. Tell her, Dre.
No, Dre can't come for another 2 days. Dre can't come for another 2 days.
I have one more day. Y'all want to keep track with my dates? Does anybody want me to go live about my dates?
Yo, that would be so dope. That's your show right there.
Y'all want to see my dates?
Yeah.
I'll be the cameraman.
Wait, you already?
I need somebody. You cannot be there. You cannot be there for my dates.
That would be dope.
Crazy.
I need somebody who doesn't know me. Like,
hidden camera.
You
it's gonna be me and it's gonna be me and Tia. It's gonna be me and Tia.
From 2 different angles.
With
the cameras. Listen. Phones like
not you and Tia.
Look, did he just say that out loud?
Yeah,
Je Vaughn, did he say that out loud?
It was I got some things in the works. So y'all will be, maybe I'll revive that. I kind of stepped back from the whole thing
now
that I had in the works. And so in the last couple of seconds, thank you all for coming on. We have to do this again. If you have any dating horror stories, because we didn't get to really touch on that, definitely send it to my DM or Javon's DM. Javon, you want to say anything?
Yes, I want y'all to know that y'all can DM me whenever you feel like it. I am at Devon Show. Devon Show.
I'm about
Tell me
to
when you gonna slide. Yeah. What we gonna do? Tell me when we gonna slide.
He got his Quiet Storm voice on.
You see what I'm saying?
His after dark video soul.
Your red flag.
Johnny Simpson voice.
Yeah. All right, y'all. It was a good time.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Mario, it's the wine for me too. It was full when she started.
It's still, don't do that.
You might as well take that last go.
And actually, no, I want to promote this. This is a Black-owned business, Lafette Rosé. I might be saying it wrong, but it's a Black-owned wine company.
We need to do the wine edition. You know what? I'm sorry. Go. Where is it, Tia?
It's Lafette Rosé.
Where can we buy it?
It's a website. You want me to know the website? Yeah. I didn't even expect to show the bottle. Come on now. Yeah, Lafette Rosé.
I don't know.
It's Black owned, and that's the only reason I brought it, because it was Black owned. But it's actually pretty dope. So try it.
Well, this is Black supported.
Water.
Bowl
water.
Isn't that what people do? They throw their hand up like this and do the whole thing. That's my sparkling water. I drink the whole thing. I love this bottle though. I got it from the market.
Durose.
Right.
I only drink clear Canadian.
She over there. Her bottle says bowl water. Just so you know, you're drinking bowl water.
When we get off of here, I'm gonna say something out the way.
There it is. Thank you, Mario.
Mario.
On it.
All right, we had such a good time. We don't even want to leave. Unless, because we were 5 minutes late, we're going 5 minutes over, because we definitely started 5 minutes.
We can go as long as we want to. What I want to know is,
I was going to say, why do we have to stop?
Well, hold on. I still got something to do tonight. So
what you doing? She's gonna be a bust. I'm telling you now, it's gonna be a bust. She's not the one for you.
I think she's gonna be all right tonight.
No, I think save your money. Buy yourself something nice.
I think, speaking of which, I think that we should do the next title, Lenisha, should be hotels in honor of Tia's involvement with Jasmine. First of all, Tia, tell Jasmine Javon said what's up. She'll know me. And
she'll know me.
I think I want to hear about those, Javon, she'll know. With the capital V, she knows it. But I definitely want to hear, I want to hear about like when you realize that the date is going to be a hate. Like the moment, like what was that moment where you sat there and went, this is going to be a fool. I think that those are the moments. When nigga what?
When niggas start singing, we couldn't.
Somebody started singing to you in the middle of a date?
What's wrong with? Wait a minute. Wait a
minute. Listen. Yeah. Now, let me disclaimer.
Clarify.
I love a nigga that can't sing, that will sing. I love it.
Yeah.
Because I'm a singer and I always sing. So it's like for somebody to do it for me, sing to me. That is dope to me. But when I said
to you, but when you said
it was just weird. The whole day he was weird. The date was weird. And so it's like it was a little creepy. I'm not even gonna get into
what did he sing, and was his leg on your shoulder when he was doing
it? Absolutely.
Did he write the song himself?
Did he write the song himself? Not Ruby said.
No, it was a country song that he got really, and it's crazy because he was really melatonin. He was really like, kind of like,
Tennessee whiskey.
I know it wasn't that cool song. It was something else, but he was just like, and it was like, but it wasn't even like to me. It was like, or like, it was weird. It was really weird. He was like,
Maybe he was a horse.
like,
Maybe he was a horse.
I remember when a girl told me, she was like, I didn't think we was going to have a second date after you started dancing in the first one. I said, I don't even remember dancing. And so that brings up my next question. Was alcohol involved?
Yeah.
Was alcohol involved?
It had to have
Was
been.
alcohol involved to you? Because if it was the wrong bottle, he drank water the whole date.
I had a glass of wine.
You can't trust a date that don't sing. I mean that don't drink.
The
And now the glass is gone. Yes,
the
Lenisha.
best dates entail people doing crazy things. Do you know? Like, so I dated a guy who was trying to use big words, but he did not know the definition of any of them.
In the wrong place. See, I'm trying to be specific here. I want to be real specific.
He told me that he could tell that I was real prolific in church. What are you trying to say? What exactly are you trying to say?
Yeah.
I'm dead. I'm
right.
So dead right now.
But I'm not rude. But I did want to know what he was trying to say. What are you trying to say?
And you asked him, you said, so.
Dre said you're checking your DMs, Je Vaughn. You checking your DMs, Je Vaughn?
Well, I prolifically check them every 15 minutes.
Oh, wait a minute. Carlotta said when the poly partner shows up for the dinner date and you didn't know that they existed or was even poly. So in the middle of the date, the partner, the spouse, shows up.
I saw that on an episode of, it might have been Blind Date, or a date where the guy left his wallet home and he asked his ex-wife, no, it was a show. He asked his ex-wife to bring the wallet to the date.
Okay.
It was sisters, BT.
Okay, that's a problem. Carletta, I guess that happened to you. That is my friend, so I know that happened to her. So they tried to sneak it up on her to see if she would be more accepting of it once she got to know the guy. And know
I rebuke this poly spirit in Jesus' name.
What you got to do?
I do.
Spirit? What you got to do? Spirit?
Because don't nobody, you don't know who your poly is being poly with. And don't bring all of that poly over here.
Yeah, you do.
No, you don't. You don't.
I was.
You don't know who poly is being poly with.
You do, because first of all, whatever happened to Carletta, if I pronounced that right, was they doing it wrong, because poly is about open communication. So it's supposed to be communicated up front and everybody's supposed to know about each other. So they did it wrong. But when you have the correct communication in place, then it can work significantly well. I'm saying.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sending the text right now.
I'm sending no text to you.
Are you a poly?
Right. I was dating a guy and we were having such a good time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was while I was a school nurse, and he brought me lunch up to my job, and he was trying to see if we were going to move on to being physical, but he wanted to let me know that he believed in being poly, and it was pretty much asking me if I wanted to participate in that whole thing. And I gave him a good solid no. I didn't need to think about it. I said, but I like hanging out with you. So you go ahead and do everything that you like doing physically with all of those people, and we can just hang out.
It's not about physical though. See, that's the thing that people misconstrue. Did I use that word right? About the poly relationship.
Yeah, because we don't want you to be him.
It's not about sex though. It's not about physical. It's not about intimacy. It's about relationship.
If it's just
it is.
Please.
No, I didn't say friendship. I said about relationship.
Shut it down.
And relationship are two totally different things. We're gonna have to have that on the next episode, because y'all have a really bad misperception.
Je Vaughn,
if it's about friendships, then we all are poly, because we all.
Did we not give? Wait a minute, but did we not give proper time that Jason Jones is really hitting hard on Ruby? We just going to pass that.
He hit the OMG several times. We feel you, Jason.
Yeah, with the kisses.
Because it's the kisses that got it for me.
Let's not get off topic. Let's not get off topic.
Yes, Nairobi. What were you about to say?
We're talking
Stay
about
focused.
polyamorous relationships, right? And a guy, earlier I told you that a guy called me rigid because I wasn't into it, and he was explaining it to me in that, the relationship is practical, like you have 3 incomes, so financially you're more stable. Triangle is the strongest shape in nature, so I do believe that for people who partake in those types of relationships, it's not about sex, but it's just not for me.
Right, and it's
I'm
not
sorry.
for everybody.
I disagree. I disagree.
Clearly, Tia is not a fan of. You know what though? I didn't like
because I want my own stuff.
Absolutely, and you do. You have your own.
I want my own stuff. I'm not sharing my stuff with nobody else.
And that's okay.
That's mine.
I think the most important thing is that we respect everyone's, lifestyle and that's pretty, let's just have mutual respect. I'm not into it, but more power to you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. Tia, we're gonna have to get you into a poly relationship at some point, just so that you can give it a shot. And then
that's
you
like
know
the
what?
worst thing. Let
me be honest. I actually considered it.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, I was dating a guy who was Muslim. And I thought to myself, I'd never be wife number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever. Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Until when I started seeing this guy, I knew that was a part of their belief system, their religion. But for me, I was like, I need to be the only wife, the only one, the only. And then when I started dating, he was so amazing. I was just like, let me see how I look in this Kmart real quick. Just see if I could maybe garb up and does it do anything for my figure? But I thought about it. I actually honestly considered it. But the reality is, no, she shouldn't. The reality for me was, again, in these poly relationships, you don't know who they're seeing as well.
You do. It's the point that I'm making, though.
You're supposed to.
Correct one. Right.
You're supposed to.
95% of them, you do. It's about open communication. That's the only point that I'm trying to.
That's what it's about. But everybody's not as open as they should be. I'm sorry.
I think that there's a difference in a polyamorous relationship and being in an open relationship. In open relationships, you guys,
Dre, I thought I liked you at first, but now you talking about
No, you're right, Narubi, because poly is open conversation, and poly is open conversation. Open relationship means you mind your business and I mind mine, and we keep moving, and whatever happens. And that's why Andre said polyamorous
relationships can work if everybody is getting what they came for.
Nah, Dre.
There's a fine line between mutualist and parasitic aspects of someone becoming selfish.
Big words.
I don't think I was mature and secure myself enough to try it, and the boundaries were not clear.
I was like
parasitic. Sound like COVID to me. Come on, Dre, with big words.
I don't like the way that it feels like the poly thing is taking over our culture. By the same token, you all into this for me. Do you feel like the whole Papa was a Rolling Stone, like back in our grandmother's day, where Granddaddy had a family 2 blocks over, and he was doing his thing over there, and Grandma knew about it?
That's my granddaddy.
Because he was a good man. And then they knew each other. I know some women who, so and so. She was like, "Oh yeah, that's Peaches." She already knew that she was with her husband, and the rest of it. Was that a form of a poly relationship? If eventually she just left alone.
Grandmama knew what was happening, and she was okay with it. And if she wasn't okay with it, times were different back then. But I tell you this though, the fact that Paw had the family right down the street, that's bold, that's beautiful, that is honest. You can't say nothing except, hey, at least he's taking care of his people.
Let me tell you, I didn't know that about my grandfather until he died.
Back in the, it was so many people who
And
was like,
all of these people started walking in the house. You know how people come over the house when somebody die?
the good stuff.
They started walking in the house, and I'm like, she looked just like my granddad. Maybe that's his sister. Maybe it's just a great aunt I ever met. Honey, I'm your auntie. I was like, auntie what? And I'm looking like, I'm your uncle. Yes, it's 4 of us girls, and I'm looking like, no, my grandma is the wife, and it has the kids. Like, well, did y'all get? And it's like you looking at them and you're thinking, yeah, that's my granddaddy's kid because she looked just like him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I'm looking at my grandma. I'm like, how could you allow this?
There's a movie, one of my favorite movies, 4 Christmases, and the man keeps saying you can't spell families without lies. But it was crazy. Like it was a lot of lying going on back then. But
crazy.
Y'all, we just gotta come up with some subjects and do this again. This was Date Hate. We got to cover women being abusive to men. We got to cover a little bit about mental health issues. We can definitely expand on that. Your own mental health or dating somebody who has.
I didn't even talk about my date in Horace. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we didn't really get to. I've had an array of different people. I've walked into my date's house and he had my name on a candle that was burning and his name written on the other side. I've dated some eclectic people. What? And so,
you better be monogrammed, Lenisha.
Not monogrammed. No, it was like a Sharpie. It was. I'll have to describe it to you.
No, not handwritten.
It was
that means more.
Sorts. How long did we date?
Yeah, that's a question.
Or how long were we dating before I saw the candle?
Yeah.
We were probably dating for about 4 months before I saw the candle in his house.
What's wrong with that?
No,
Lenisha.
I'm legit asking. What's wrong with him burning a candle for you? I'm legit asking.
That seems a little seance-ish.
It was seance-ish.
No, I feel like I would meet that with some appreciation, you know?
That's like a voodoo doll and stick a pins in it.
If he used a Sharpie, you know, I feel like you should go out and like get a sticker made or something like that. Don't use a Sharpie.
I agree with that.
Not Ruby.
No, not Ruby. Check it out. He did not remember to put it up before I came. So it was more stuff spread out in that same place. And
in your honor?
No. It was like this color candle with this person's name written on it for this thing, and this candle is this color for this thing.
Somebody else.
These names are written. Yeah. It
was that does sound a little creepy then. Yeah.
But but a little seance-ish.
Yes.
I might be saying too much. When it's just us, I'll give y'all the rest of that story.
Amen. I want to, because I'm calling you after this live, honey. What the heck?
Yeah, I've had some.
Oh, I've been offered residence.
What do you mean?
Come live with me.
Oh, so that's normal.
So no, it's not. So I can get to know you better.
Oh, come live with me so I can get to know you better.
Was it a nice house?
Ruby trying to be fair.
No, it was one of those houses where there were 20 million people in it.
Oh, okay. But
was he trying to get to know all of them too?
Was it a cult?
It was a kids.
Oh.
Have you ever had?
It was one of those situations where it's like, you got too many people in your house. Who want to do that? I got my own people.
They needed a mama.
No, they grown.
And rock to you.
So
and I'm a good stepmama, just so you know. No. It wasn't even that. Prove it. You got kids? Bring them over. Bring them over. They will love me. I'm trying to tell you. They will love me. But what I'm saying is, it was a situation where they were adults, you know.
Did you run?
Well, I didn't run for that reason. I ran because I wasn't. It just wasn't I didn't think that he and I were a fit. You know, it was just like, I just don't think that you are what. No, it wasn't the kids. Kids were, grown, darn near 17, 18, grown. That wasn't the issue. The issue was he wasn't respectful of boundaries.
Okay.
He wasn't respectful of the boundaries. And so one of the things that I desired was, hey, let me get to know you. Let's be friends. Let's hang out a little bit to just kind of figure out. But for him, it was, oh, no, I like you. I want you. Let me lock you, reel you in, lock you in. Like he went to the extent of telling me like, oh, I would have put it on you. And I was put
a ring
what?
Or something else?
No, something else. He was really like, he started bragging on his stuff. And I was like,
how soon should sex come into the conversation?
Never. Just if it happens, it happens. And that goes against all of my Christian beliefs.
Look, we were like,
no.
It should never happen?
No, it shouldn't be a conversation.
It should not be a conversation.
No, I disagree.
No, Ruby,
like
be fair about this one.
I disagree. I feel like
we can't hear you, Ruby. We can't hear you.
I'm sorry. Not at all.
I can hear her. I can hear her.
Just go out and come back in because I want to hear this answer.
No, I can't.
Just log out and then come right back in.
We can all hear her. So maybe it's you, Je Vaughn. You might need to go out and come back in, Je Vaughn.
Can y'all hear each other?
Yeah.
I'm the only one that can't hear nobody.
Yes.
Well, y'all on my show. Y'all get out. No, I'm just playing.
What is up with your
we
show?
We can hear you.
Guys? The guys couldn't hear today. Go ahead now, Ruby.
All right, let me talk before he come back. All right. I disagree. I feel like if it's natural, if the talk about sex comes up naturally, then let's talk about it. I want to know what
that way.
Like.
Yeah.
There might be some things. There might be some things that you're into that I am not at all into, and it might be a deal breaker for you. And so I guess
that Vaseline out of here.
We got to move on. But I like to talk about sex early, simply because I've decided, or I'm going down this this journey of abstaining from sex until I'm in like a committed relationship. So I'm out dating and going out and meeting different men, but I'm not sleeping with them. And I like to talk about that up front, because for a lot of men that is a deal breaker. Like you mentioned sex, or even the word platonic, which is like a affectionate and intimate relationship. And like this one guy asked me, he was like, isn't that like a fine line? Aren't you playing with fire if you have intimacy and affection without sex? And I was like, I mean, for some people it might be, but I don't think so. Like intimacy is like the closeness, like being affectionate and being close to someone without it being a sexual relationship. I feel like we often jump to the bed so quickly that we don't even see the red flags as we're on our way to smash. And now we're in this. We're
smash.
I say smash.
Smash.
It's a smash.
We're in there, like we're all the way in there. And now, you know what I'm saying? They put it down so good that you don't want to leave, even though they are, all of this X, Y, and Z that's like on your list of do not, pass go or whatever. So, it definitely helps you see, I think, more clearly outside of that, initial infatuation. It's harder, to like part ways with someone when you're sleeping with them. You know what I mean? At least for me, it's like that's a really deep connection when a man enters your body. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like it does something to you.
So
huh?
I said you're so pure.
Oh no, I'm just saying when that happens, it creates a connection. I feel like
it does.
You sleep with a lot of people. When you sleep with a lot of people, not that I'm saying there's anything wrong with that, but like you sort of lose pieces of yourself.
It is something wrong with that.
Yeah.
So
it is something wrong with that, I think. I mean, that's my opinion, I guess.
Yeah.
I think that sex should be talked about. We shouldn't shy away from it. We should be clear about our intentions. But I mean, sex is a natural, occurrence. So
Right. I think, and that's why I think it should.
About.
So when I said no conversation, I think that if it occurs, that it should occur naturally.
Yeah.
I don't think that it should be like, hey, listen, I like my toes rubbed, and then I like my ear licked, and then I like my eyelash twiddle. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it should be that kind of thing set up, because for me, it's, I feel like chemistry is everything. And chemistry happens naturally. Like, if you mix oil and water together, they don't mix.
Tia, are you a hopeless romantic?
I can't say hopeless, but I do appreciate romance. I do appreciate romance. I don't think that I'm a hopeless romantic, but I do appreciate. I appreciate connection.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So
yeah, and direction. I appreciate both of those.
So that's
connection and direction.
Tell me what you want. Tell me what you need. Tell me if it ain't good enough for you, babe.
Sing the song.
Tell me.
But that's the thing. I feel like it's not fair, because maybe your last relationship, maybe the relationship sucked, but sex was great. And so you go into this new situation, holding this person to all of the things that transpired in your last. I don't think that's fair. I think that whatever your chemistry and your connection is with that person, that you should focus in and hone in on that, because I believe that contributes to whatever your physical experience is going to be. You know what I mean?
Earlier,
I don't think that
you said something when we started talking about the sex that alluded to, oh, wait a minute, let me say what I'm supposed to say. You didn't really say this, but let me say what I'm supposed to say according to my beliefs, like my Christian beliefs. Like, what should I be saying? So for those of you in the comment section, those of you watching the live, everybody in the room, let's go here, right? It was me once who said that I could not date this guy or whatever, because we couldn't pray together. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't believe like I believe. If there are situations that are happening, I don't want to be the spiritual leader in my relationships. I don't want to be more spiritually mature than my counterpart, and that's a big part of my life. But now, when we are talking about Christian people, isn't it an oxymoron to say, I can't sleep with you because you don't believe like I believe? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we can't smash because we can't pray together. Is that crazy? Have you experienced that at all for the people who are saved, but you know that you definitely fornicate if you are
Can I do something real quick, if you guys don't mind?
Yeah.
I've been enjoying Andre, and I think that the best thing Andre said in this chat was, Je Vaughn is right. I hate to admit it. So I asked Andre,
what?
And Andre is on with us now.
Hey, Dre!
Hey, everybody. I did hate to admit
Andre.
that, I did hate to admit that. I did, but he was right.
What was he right about?
Right about what?
No,
About everything that I said tonight. Let's move on. We're not going to litigate the past.
Hi, Andre.
Hey, loves, how y'all doing?
It's good to see you.
Good to see y'all.
Here.
But no, he was talking about polyamorous relationships and the difference between there being what we regularly know as relationships. I got jealous in one. I did. I just got out of one. It was crazy. I had never did one before. It was crazy. And I wasn't secure enough or knew myself enough to be in one to try in the first place. So, major announcement, I'm gay. Woo! So, it happened. I got into the situation where I thought,
dang, Dre.
I know, right?
I was like, he gonna be in my DMs after this. He gonna holler at you, girl. So
you know what? That was once upon a time, and I would have, but yeah.
I heard that you can turn some. I heard that you were a turner. That you can turn it around. Anyway,
that you were a turner.
I'll tell you about that later. Yes, turn it around, open the window, but not the window.
Je Vaughn. Play too much.
What happened was I thought that I could deal with the notion that a lot of men would not be faithful. I was like, they are hoes. It's gonna be what it is. Because a lot of men are just like, okay, they are. They're real easy to get. And then later on, I found out that that's not necessarily true, and it doesn't have to be true. There's a respect level that comes to things, though. If he really respects you and he really loves you, there's certain things he's just not going to do.
Okay.
And if you're in a relationship and you want to do something polyamorous, there's a respect level that you have with your partner. You're supposed to tell them how you're feeling, what you're thinking about, who you're thinking about, or why do you like that type of person. There's supposed to be a discussion so nobody's uncomfortable. But usually there's a disrespect level that comes with a lot of men.
Okay.
Who say, I'm selfish, I'm gonna do what the heck I want to do, and I'm gonna leave you hanging. Like if you're in a polyamorous relationship though, and your man not fulfilling your needs before he go outside, if he ain't take care of home before he go outside, something's wrong with that. And a lot of them don't know how to take care of home with one, let alone a whole bunch of them. So I can see.
So you know what I want to know?
What's
What
up?
are the expectations in a homosexual polyamorous relationship? Whereas in a heterosexual one, like if there's one man and two women, then there's the women are still depending on the man to take care of the household.
It depends
What
now,
standards
because
are
by society standards that would be correct. But now you have two women with one man. You have men who are no longer the head of the household anymore. You know, and sometimes it depends on who the dominant is in the relationship.
Okay. And is it kind of just like known within your spirit?
No, you have to have a discussion because that assuming in your spirit thing though would get you messed up like it did me.
Okay.
There was a lot of things I assumed that my man wanted.
Okay.
There's a lot of things that he assumed I probably wanted or didn't care about. And assuming in your spirit thing though would get you messed up like it did me.
Sorry.
Who is the echo coming from?
That's Tia.
We are learning so much. I didn't even expect for all of this to come in with this culmination of this No Manuary challenge with date hate. Do you have a dating horror story beyond the polyamorous thing going left?
A dating horror story. I think my last date was a horror story. He was weird. Okay. So I tried it. I got bored. I decided to go on some type of like little dating app, and I saw somebody I knew. I didn't know he liked me.
Okay.
So I caught myself going over there. You know, we having our little libations, but like there are certain conversations he didn't want to have.
Hey, Derek.
Hey, and what ended up happening is that I felt a little shut down for a little while. It was a little weird. So I was like, you know what? Let me go and be the person who gives the energy you give me. That type of person. So I'm just gonna mirror you. And that didn't work out too well either. And it just ended up with him being very mean. And I felt the energy change, but I tried to ignore it. And by the end of the day, I wanted to run.
At this point, does anybody within this room or on the line, does anybody trust people that you meet on the dating apps? Or is that just like gap fillers? You know what I'm saying? Like fillers. Does anybody, or does it depend on the app?
It depends on the app. It does.
I've dated from an app before. I lost a bet with my best friends, and so I had the repercussion was going on for 2 weeks.
Okay.
And I encountered some crazies, but I actually met somebody that was really, really nice. So I can't say that the dating app was, like a bust.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because even though we didn't end up being in a relationship, we ended up being really good friends.
Okay.
And so it was really dope. It was really, really dope experience.
Yeah.
I end up being really good friends with all of the people I meet on apps, which is just my downfall. Everybody's a really good friend. I'm still really, really good friends
Je
with 25 people who I dated on that. Me and 25 are still really, really good friends. And
25?
I've met 20, give or take 20 on apps. And they've ranged.
How many came from Plenty of Fish? Like, let's show. I
have not done Plenty of Fish.
You have not done. So what have you done? Have you done
Tinder, Bumble, and Facebook dating app thing?
I've heard good things about Bumble.
Yeah, if you are a woman looking for a man with money. But on the other flip side, Nothing but teachers on there. Nothing against teachers.
Teachers are on Bumble.
They're all on Bumble. Every last one.
Now, Ruby, you haven't done any.
They're all everywhere. They're on Bumble and they're on Hinge and they're on Facebook dating. They're all on there. Bumble was okay.
Nothing against teachers, of course, for the record.
I didn't do Bumble. Maybe that's what I'll try next.
Bumble was cool, but I didn't know how I felt about the whole rejection piece because on Bumble the woman has to reach out first, you know.
Right.
Like you have a certain amount of time,
that's
whatever.
The prerequisite, the woman has to reach out first.
Yes.
Yes. If you match, the woman has to message you first, or you can't message her.
Look at Dre and Tia both frowned and tilted.
No, it's not a bad thing though, because as a guy, you're getting your time wasted. Like a woman knows whether she's attracted to you or not immediately.
Yeah.
And if she not, she ain't gonna click on you. So it was cool. I'm luckily and I'm happy to say I'm off of all of them right now. But
I'm currently off of all as well. But I found out something about myself. I would create them and then look at the roster, and I feel like I can see
the bull crap
in your eyes.
From 3,000
and what's around you.
I went through the trouble of building a profile on Hinge.
Okay.
I did that one.
And I because the promotion said this is for serious people who want to be in a real relationship, you know?
Serious. Yes.
So I built a profile on Hinge. Then I looked through, and I was like,
yeah.
Delete me. Because I was just like, I think for me, it was a lot of things. So for me, it was being, the worship leader and the singer and all of that stuff.
And that one, yeah.
And then it was also...
Dre, are you a singer?
I am.
Okay.
I'm an opera singer and a gospel singer.
Oh, okay, dope.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I had to come back on real quick.
I love that.
Is Dre a singer?
Yes.
Oh, God.
He's heard me. If you ever look at Dexter Walker and Zion Movement, you'll probably see me acting crazy.
Okay.
Yes, he's part of the group that does this.
Yes. gospelaerobics.com.org.edu. Kid you not.
Okay.
Yeah. But
well,
no,
Andre
Can
you inbox that to me, Dre? Sorry.
Maybe that's what the next one will be. Horror stories off of dating apps. I am going to leave you guys. Let's shut this down at 40, okay? Because we're going to talk about everything that we have to talk about on this one, and I'm trying to hold back so that we have something to talk about on the next one.
Like horror stories with entertainers on the next. They hate.
Can we talk about bishops and pastors?
Oh, please talk about them. Please do.
Don't, Dre, I don't want you to talk about them.
No, I ain't gonna put no names. We ain't got no names. We ain't got time for them. It's too many.
I want Dre and Larry Reid on the next show.
No.
Absolutely. Yes.
Oh, God.
Yes, Lenisha.
We're not trying to out any people. We're just
yes, we are. All of it.
Our own personal, not on anything that I have anything to do with, but we just want to talk about our own personal stories and happenings.
Absolutely.
And how
like
we
my time with Jasmine Sullivan.
In efforts to get better and have better dating practices. I believe that sometimes we have to look at ourselves. What is drawing us to these other people?
And why does what they do get on our nerve? Probably because it's something we do too.
I did find out last year in the beginnings of my journey of being more self-reflective that a lot of things that I can't stand for other people to do, I find myself doing that very thing just in a different way and finding a way to justify it because it's me. You know what I'm saying? Which is not okay. Tia shared her wine, but she didn't share that dang plate she killing. What you eating, Tia? Mario is on you, okay? What she eating?
I don't blame you, Tia. That look good. And I'm fat, so I understand.
I mean, there was no way for you to ship abroad. Do you know what I'm saying? Tia is
I should have door dashed you, huh?
You could have door dashed me. AJ, Dre, where are you from?
My son actually got
Chicago, Illinois.
For me.
Born and raised.
Chicago, Midwest. I'm from St. Louis. Javon,
yes.
where you from originally?
Born and raised Southside.
Southside. And now Ruby again from
New York.
From New York. Woo,
Nice.
Yeah.
we kind of went off.
Philly. I'm from
Come on,
Philly now,
Philly.
Ruby.
Now,
Where all the
Ruby
good
from
neo
Philly,
soul people come
so y'all
from.
both East Coast.
Yeah. So you hear
But
that?
now
So
everybody's
say it
in
again.
Texas. Huh?
Neo soul.
I'm sorry, Lenisha. Were you still
What'd you
here?
say, Lenisha?
No, I was just saying those two girls are from the East Coast, but now we're all in Texas. Different parts of Texas, but we're all in Texas. Everybody who's on here now. But I had a really good time. Je Vaughn, if you don't shut this down, I'm going to get on you because we can all keep talking about this relationship.
Yes, we can.
stuff
Just so everybody
forever
knows,
and a day.
this whole conversation is available on YouTube. It's available on, it'll be clips that we're going to share. And the whole full podcast will be on anchor.com/idream. So make sure you guys check it out, share it with people. Maybe they'll get some insight on polyamorous relationships. And
Like
we
that's
look
what it was
forward to the next conversation.
Oh, yes. Thank you, everybody, for showing up.
Thanks,
Dre,
y'all.
our bonus
Yeah.
guest, thank you for coming in.
Hey, thank you,
Yeah.
Dre.
Thank y'all. I had fun. This was fun.
This was a lot of fun. And before we go, I'm just going to do...
Hold on a second.
Huh? What happened? Oh. So 99.5 won't do when you're doing your relationships. You need to give 100% glory.
I was like, what's happening here?
You give 100% when you go out on these dates because you can give 5, 10, 15.
15,
99.5 won't do.
35, 47.
I was like,
Doop, doop, doop.
45, 47.
Oh my goodness.
Lenisha, you said we got to go.
I did. I don't want to either, but we definitely got to cut it off.
99
I love the way that you left me devastated.
and
I was watching the screen like, what's about to happen?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. If I ever went out on a date with Tia, I would sing because
You'll be happy. You'll be happy.
Oh, I'll
I'm
sing.
actually,
Mhm.
We should all sing tonight.
I'm actually
before we
pretty.
leave.
I'm actually pretty
That's
cool to
all
hang
right.
out with you, Ryan. I really am.
Okay.
She said she
I
good.
do too.
You don't want us all to
I'm
sing to
good.
you.
No,
Me and
that's okay.
Tia went to go hang out, and there was a waitress who sang to us, and she included Rose, which I don't know.
She
if you're familiar
said-
with that.
She was trying to battle. She was like, I want all the rose and everything. And I was like, Rose? What is Rose?
And she hit us,
Honey.
and she grabbed the ear, and she said, "Yeah, New Monica."
Like, she didn't just start singing. She was like, yeah, New Monica. I used to think that I wasn't wild enough. I used to think that I wasn't strong enough. And I was like,
And she was not playing.
and I was able to keep a straight face. However, my counterparts, they weren't. But I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
I would have been.
Yeah.
I would have been all up in
I
there.
see where
like,
this is coming from. You were scarred as a child.
Food. I don't know.
Bring me my food. The front.
Please keep going.
We gotta go.
Oh, wait, before we go, speaking of singing, can I play one more thing before we go?
Yeah.
Oh God.
You need to know what you know. So we want to introduce you to a segment called the Song Break. And so I'm going to do 30 seconds of a song, and then I'm going to give it to you to take 30 seconds of a song. Now let me. So here is Je Vaughn's 30-second song while you're preparing your 30-second song.
It's nothing playing.
There's
nothing playing.
Take me to the bridge. Take take me out.
Oh.
Would you believe? Now, what I believe in that clip, what I was showing, was that if my point is, Lenisha and Tia, y'all grab me as somebody like Melissa, who can't really keep y'all face when somebody is giving y'all food. Am I accurate?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I sing that song. I sing that song the same way though.
Yeah, that's the only way to do it. Yes, yes, yes.
No. Me and Ruby are gonna leave. We're gonna let y'all have it.
Devon, does that
The shoulder bop that you, the way that you showed that you were enjoying that. Right now, for this SMH. The moral of the story
like that. Be sweet.
The moral of the story is, people come with surprises. Okay.
Yeah.
And so
Devon just came with a few.
Watch who you date. Wait a minute. He needs some more of that Lafette Rose after hearing it. Come on, Mario. You can go with me and Ruby are going, and we can let them have that. Carletta's faces were accurate. Yeah. This was
before we go, somebody asked.
Before we go.
Thank you, Mr. Stanton.
Tia.
Yes.
A request has been made. We gotta go. Okay.
He was not requesting. He was complimenting her song.
No, he was saying sing to you.
Now, Ruby, you ready to hit that?
Yeah, I gotta go.
Yeah. We love y'all. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, we can do this all day. Have a great night.
They love us. They love us.
Like all the other people I've dated. You have a great night.
I know.
Bye.
See you, Je Vaughn. See you guys.